All right, guys, welcome back to another KevCAM night class tonight. Tonight I have Jennifer helping out with any questions or concerns. Jennifer, are you with us?
Absolutely. Good evening, everyone.
And then Greg Payton is finally back, so it's nice to have him back. I feel like some weight has been lifted off my shoulders, so it's good to have him back as well.
Good to be back. Good evening, everybody.
So for those, I see some people still kind of coming in here. So from what I see, all the names on the attendee list, everybody has been here before, so I won't go through the regular old go-to meeting and all that stuff. So tonight will be a little bit of a shorter of a class, but we will be covering the what's new in iMachining for 2018 for you guys. So we'll just kind of dive right into it right away for you guys, and kind of got a part set up for kind of all the different things that they've added in for iMachining for this latest build of 2018. So, all right, so first things first is we'll go ahead and do a 2D. And a lot of this stuff that I'm showing you guys is going to be the same for 2D and 3D as well. So just kind of keep that in mind. So first thing I want to do is show that the new fillet feature that they've included with the 2D iMachining now. And let me just mark some open edges real quick here. All right. Holy cow, I just looked over, we got a bunch of people piling in now. Okay, so now with the new feature in there with the floor fillet, so you'll see that I have it is a 1/4 inch radius on that floor fillet. Well, we can actually adapt to that now in 2D iMachining instead of having to use 3D. So for those of you guys that are using the 3D package, you know, this will, you guys, or more or less the 2.5D package, you guys can actually do some of the 3D work as well now. I'll switch this over to iRough plus Finish. Has our levels already tagged, I think. Nope, there, now we have our levels tagged. And let's do a floor finish on here, and looks good. And I'm gonna hop over to my tool, and we'll just grab a regular 1/2 inch end mill here. Now where the biggest change is are in the geometry, the floor fillet. So right now, since I know that that floor fillet is a 1/4 inch, I can hit that checkbox, and we can put a 0.25 fillet in there. And you'll see it automatically updates the scallop. That's a pretty large scallop, especially for this part. Now the nice thing is, why they came out with this is now you guys can come back with either a ball end mill, and so we're not really taking such an aggressive cut on there. Plus, we're not having to take this in 2 operations. So before, what we would have done is had to pocket the center out first and get that all done, and then come out to this outside chain and chain that, and then we'd be left with a, you know, basically a square piece going straight out and straight down right here. So now we can accommodate for that just with the 2.5D iMachining. So what I'll do is I'll turn that scallop to, let's say, 20 thou. Save and calculate here. And now if we go and play this through here, so it's going to do that top layer first. And then what it's going to do is come back and do the bottom layer. And this would have, like I said, this would have had to been done in 2 operations previously. And now what it's going to do is it's going to come and do those fillets in there for you. And we're doing a scallop of 10 thou, or no, 20 thou for this particular part. And for those of you guys that are unsure what I'm talking about with scallop is, I'll let it finish off here, is the height. Oh, get zoomed in here. My 3D mouse is a little fast. So the height from right here down to here is going to be that 20 thou. So you guys can come back and use a ball end mill and come in there, wipe it out, and not have to take several passes like what we used to have to do before. And you guys can set that up as tight as you want. So maybe if tolerance isn't huge and critical, you guys can do it all in one operation right here. If we did like a 5 thou scallop, let's calculate up real quick, and we'll play it through. Now, what we talked about last week with the fixture collision and all that stuff, all that stuff is carried over as well for the iMachining for you guys too. So you guys have that full fixture avoidance as well here. Getting those corners out. Like I said, that 5 thou step down or scallop is pretty small, so should leave us with somewhat decent finish in there for those radiuses. And we're almost wrapped up here. There we go. So if we want to do a stock target comparison here, you can see we're all the way up to size on our floor and our wall, and it's kind of hit and miss depends on where that scallop is. So it's right on that, that 0 to between 4 thou, because we selected a 5 thou scallop height. So like I said, if you're not looking for anything tight tolerance, then you guys can use that. Or if you are, maybe change up that scallop till just a hair bigger and come back with that 1/2 inch ball end mill to come finish it off. So new feature that they added in there, I want to show you guys. Any questions on that one? I don't see anything coming through here, so. Okay. So another thing that we've added in with the 2D iMachine is basically kind of the same thing as what we used to do with the pocketing. Multiple depths. So I have a pocket here that is 625 thou deep, 500 thou deep, 1/4 inch deep, and 3/8 inch deep. Now, before you guys would have to do this in 4 different operations. Now we can do this all in one operation. And I'm actually going to do my drag and drop here. So I want to do that one, and that one. Now, since I have multiple depths with this part, the drag and drop template is going to go to the shallowest hole, the 1/4 inch. Did I not get the, let me delete this real quick. Must not grab my other ones here. There it goes. So now I just use one of my drag and drop templates, and like I said, it's only going to go up to the shallowest depth because we don't obviously want to gouge it. So if I kind of turn this part sideways here, you'll see that we're right up to size here, but our floor is actually sitting off over here. So easy enough to go in there. And what we'll do is open up our operation. We'll go to levels, and now we'll pick our variable levels. So by clicking that, I can go over to my chain 1, and I can click on that. It's going to put my depth in there, and you'll see that it's green, and it may be red or might be yellow on your guys, depending on however your color is set up. That means it's physically linked itself to the SolidWorks model. So I'll do the same thing for my chain number 2 and chain number 3 here. This out of the way. And our chain number 4. So now, save and calculate here. Now we have the ability to do the multiple levels inside iMachining instead of having to break it up in multiple different operations for you guys. And basically what we did is we carried over the pocketing technology for you guys and brought that over to the iMachining as well. So, and if we want, we can do iRough plus finish and save and calculate. And let's go into a simulate here. Solid verify. Sorry guys, I have the tolerance set up pretty tight so you guys can see every little nook and cranny that's there. I have 1/10 tolerance set up right now. Yeah, 1/10. So now, you can see we're, oh shoot, I didn't do a floor finish. But if we were in there, it would do the floor finish as well. And just give you guys a ease of mind, let me just set that up real quick. Dashboard, floor, save and calculate. And now you can see the contour style floor finish to finish off those floors in there. Okay, now getting on to even some cooler stuff here. Expand this out a little bit. And I'm just going to, oops, I'm going to delete out this operation here, or I'll suppress it. Now, I'm going to grab my drag and drop for this pocket right here. Okay, so how many times, do you guys run across where you guys want to rough it out with one end mill and then you guys want to finish it with a different end mill? We've heard, I think this is actually by a customer request, and I'm not sure who requested it, but we've added in there. So what you guys can do now is actually do a roughing with one end mill and a finishing with a different end mill all within one operation now. So what I mean by that is instead of switching or using iRough, we will use multi-tool. So it has all my contour geometry, still has my end mill here, but now if I go to tools, I've selected tool number 1 is going to do the roughing, and now if I come over here and do a select, grab my tool number 2, and my tool number 2 I can actually use for my finishing strategy. So it's all kept within one operation as you guys are programming, but now once I save and calculate here, it's actually going to break it up into 2 operations for us. So I can do it all within one operation, but when it actually goes to populate out, no, maybe not. I think it should have. Let's check it real quick. And I forgot I'm using a dev build, so some things may not work like they're 100% supposed to. And let me just check the code real quick, because it's really hard since we're using the same end mill here. Tool number 1, we'll just do a edit, find, do a M6.
And what you may want to do, Kevin, too, is check out the technology for that second tool and make sure that it has material to remove with that second tool.
Gotcha. Grab that. So we got 10 thou here. Could have sworn that it creates a new operation. We'll grab the smaller end mill here, 1/4 inch. course, it worked earlier, but now it's not going to work. All right, what am I missing here? More, looks good. Contour. Tool number 1. Let's get tool number 3. It switches. I can see it over here switching. Let me just try something else here, guys. Maybe it's my template that's throwing it off. So we'll do iMachining, and we'll do multiple tool, new, grab that face, and go to tool, select, tool number 1. It's going to do my roughing, select my tool number 2, or I'll do a 3. Now it's going to do our finishing here. There it goes. So something with my template was throwing it off. So now, apologize for that, but so now what I'm doing is I did tool number 1 to do the roughing, tool number 3 to come back and do the finishing of the wall and floor, and you'll see that it automatically created 2 operations over here, one for tool number 1 and one for tool number 3. And that's kind of how it's meant to work. Is so what it's going to do is you can do it all within one operation, but it is going to make a separate operation for each tool that you guys go. And you guys can keep adding tools. So maybe you guys want to do, tool number 1 to do the roughing, tool number 2 just to do the finish the floor, and tool number 3 to finish the wall. So definitely you guys can add as many tools as you guys want in there. I think it's all the way up to 3 tools because you can do separate ones for wall, finish, and rough. So any
yeah, I believe tool-wise you can add a lot more than that. Yeah, in case you'd wanted to do rest roughing and you wanted to step it down through tools.
Yep.
Say you want to start with the 1 inch and work your way fractionally down. Whatever you guys want to use for roughing. But yeah, you can continue to stack tools in a roughing manner and also stack tools for finished wall and finished floor. And the technologies can be changed for each tool that's populated as well. You guys can kind of see it just to the left of the upper operations window, the upper left-hand corner. You have that tool selector window. And by clicking on each of those, that will actually take you to the operation parameters for that particular tool. So if we look at the technology page and then switch between them, you can see those changes being made.
Yeah, so what Greg is saying is this, if I click on tool number 3, it's going along with this finished wall and floor right here. If I click on tool number 2, or I'm sorry, tool number 1, it's going to the roughing strategy right here. So it's an easy way to toggle back and forth.
Yeah, intended to put down a lot of iMachining operations without having to leave the operation window.
Absolutely. Yeah, I forgot about that. Thanks, Greg. All right. Any questions on this? All right, Ronnie, need to be checked. Okay. All right, so now, how many times have you guys come across and you guys want to machine something out with iMachining, but your tool is too large? So we are going to do that right now. And grab a tool here. So normally for iMachining to fit in there, it has to be the end mill has to be 170% smaller than the actual cut right here. So right here we have a slot that is 0.425 of a width right here, and I'm using a 1/4 inch end mill. So let's just do get a level, do our pocket depth here. Save and calculate. And I'm not getting no toolpath. I'm trying to click on it, but it's not showing toolpath. So now what they've added in there and this is more meant for your softer materials and, just to make sure you guys have good air blast to evacuate those chips out there because we're doing a smaller morph, is if you guys actually come out of here and go into your iMachining settings, right here, you guys can actually change the minimum helix ramp angle of that tool. So if I come in over here and change it to 110% now, go to that same operation, save and calculate. And now you guys will see that I'm actually getting toolpath in there. So you guys can definitely control how much you guys can go in and out of those features. So that was a big, I guess you'd say, gripe that with iMachining you always have to have such a small tool. Well, now not anymore. You guys can change that variable right inside of your settings, and that will stay, stick through all your local settings. And you guys can use those larger tools to fit into those smaller pocket areas, so you guys don't have to get a very small end mill at all. So, any questions with that one at all? Got a quiet crowd tonight. All right. So now, the last thing I have to show you guys here is the new database. So this database down here looks exactly like it always has. But if we click on Edit iMachine Database, what it has done is they've broken it out into a tree, just like how SolidWorks does their materials. So you guys can add, different material group types. So we can do, lower carbon steel, aluminum alloys, all that stuff, or you can do non-grouped materials to kind of more fine-tune that and to kind of follow along the same steps as what SolidWorks has done as well. So materials can be placed into categories for more accurate cutting forces and calculations. So you guys can create, all these different categories as you would like. You guys can come in here and add machines. To add a new machine in here or material, all you have to do is just right click and say add new machine or new material as well. So, and now you get the option to import or export out material as well. So.
Now, for the categories of the groups, those are hard-coded, right? Because that's part of the iMachining algorithm?
Yes.
So we're not going to be creating new groups of materials. You can just place existing materials into those groups to refine the calculations. Yep.
Yeah, I forgot about that part. But yeah, take these guys and run with it because, like I said, and I think I've told you guys before, is, if you guys are fine using these, that's great. But if you're really trying to get that maximum, efficiency, make sure you guys are creating your own material and go on there and, go to mattweb.com and put your material in there that way. So you guys have a extremely accurate ultimate tensile PSI of that material as well as your machine. And when we add a new machine in here, it's going to look a little bit different from what you guys are used to, but the red areas are the required fields, but everything else is the exact same thing as what you guys have seen before. So, any questions, guys? I don't see anything coming through. Ronnie, you got to have something. Good stuff, yeah. One thing that did throw one of our customers off is, I'm just going to add a dummy machine in here. We'll say spindle RPM 10, max feed rate, do 10, and horsepower, we'll do 10. Now, I can't come in here and type in my machine name right now. So just do a apply for new machine, and now I can come in here and rename it to, you know, KevCAM test machine. So keep that in mind. You know, if you guys are trying to come in here and click and change the name of it, you won't be able to until it's actually added into your tree. Once it's added into the tree, then you guys can right click and do rename and name it whatever material you guys would like. All right, I think that, let me just check my notes real quick. I think that about covers.
Yeah, I think kind of touch upon something that was introduced in 2017 as well, and that's that use SolidWorks material. Because 2018 is going to be treating the SolidWorks materials like they're the grouped materials as well. So if you guys do like to set your materials up within SolidWorks, you can use that checkbox right below Material Database and have SolidCAM pull the material information directly from the SolidWorks model. And that way you don't have to worry about that database. Now, of course, we recommend putting in those numbers based off of what your material supplier gives you, because what they give you could possibly be different than what you see in the SolidWorks. But if you just want to pull a generic value out of the SolidWorks values that you're already using, we can use those, and our updated algorithms will come into factor with that selection.
Yes. Now I went to highlight it. Now I can't figure out how to get rid of my drawing tools. There we go. Normal drawing.
But, Kevin, did you see Jeff's? He mentioned a typo there. Maximum continuous power at the bottom of the screen.
You're probably going to want to edit it.
What am I looking for here? The bottom of the screen, you don't have to acknowledge. I'm lost. Am I missing something here? Oh. Jeff, are you saying you don't have to hit the apply button? Okay. He said he's going to send me an email on it. But I'm still stumped here. Maximum continuous power. Maximum. Okay, yeah. Send me a, maybe I'll do a tip of the day on that one once you send that over to me, Jeff. Sorry, I didn't, not sure what you're catching there, but any other questions that can stump me? Jeff got me on that one. Carlos, Greg, Rick. I don't see anybody coming through here, so I guess that kind of wraps it up for tonight. And and I don't know if you guys already signed up for this or not, but next week is the HSM, the new turbo option that has been added in there for you guys. Another huge improvement, kind of going along the lines of hitting that easy button and, you know, pretty much letting it work its magic, doing linear and constant Z. So really cool stuff. So we'll be covering the HSM, and then there's just a few changes that they did with mill turn as well. So we'll kind of combine both that HSM turbo along with the new features that they've added in for 2018 mill turn. So, all right, guys. Well, if nothing else is coming through here, thanks again for spending your evening with us and watching this, and hopefully you got something good out of this. And we're definitely excited to add all these new features in here for you guys, and a lot of this has come from your guys' suggestions. So definitely keep the feedback coming, and let us know if there's anything to be changed or if you guys have any questions along this. So, anything else, Jennifer, before we wrap up?
No. Everybody have a nice evening.
Yep, had a great evening, and we will, if I don't talk to you guys in the meantime, we'll talk to you guys next week. And for anybody that's watching this on YouTube, any questions or concerns, send those over to me in an email, and my email address is in the description of the video for you guys as well. So, all right, guys, great, thanks, and have a great evening. We'll talk to you guys next week. Bye-bye.
Good night.